Hey everyone, welcome back. Thank you for joining us today. One of the things we want to discuss, well, there's lots of things we always want to discuss.
Yeah, always.
But one of the things we want to touch on today are builder incentives. Because we are out visiting builders, we want to say, we want to see if builder incentives are actually a good thing, or are they just a hook to get you into a home, how they actually affect you as a buyer.
Yeah. And we are in the Ashland community today, and there are several builders out here, and they're all going to be offering different incentives, just like some of the other neighborhoods that are now building in Angleton. What do you think? What are some of the incentives that you've heard about?
Well, I mean, there's different ways to look at it. You will either have a builder that's going to give you incentives towards upgrades in the home, adding different things. K-Hub, which is the home we're sitting in right now, they basically come. Their way they're doing it is they're an elevated, elegant. She referred to them as palettes, which I love. Mm-hmm. So there's just not really a whole lot of upgrades. You're going to see upgrades in appliances. You can do it, flooring. But really, it is what you see is what you get, which I actually love. So there's no surprises. They want to really be transparent to their buyers. I think the other part you're going to see incentives are going to be on the closing costs. You're going to see incentives on the actual financing part of it, because a lot of times builders want you to use their own lenders.
And sometimes now that we're in new communities, we are seeing more incentives to try to get people out into the community. And then sometimes as the community starts to sell out, we'll see more incentives so that they can move out of that community.
Right. That's right. So they're definitely trying to bring you in at this point. So you're going to see a lot of incentives on, if you're a first-time home buyer, they might have an incentive. The one thing you have to always check with, though, on builders, and this is where you're going to lean on us as your agents, is to know what incentives they're offering, because they do change. They can change weekly, actually, because
almost daily.
Yeah, because they are constantly trying to, just like everybody else, they're trying to move traffic. They're trying to keep people coming and keep people interested. And especially if it's a rate-driven incentive, that can change daily. I mean, essentially, because they only have so much room to move on a rate.
Right. And now with our interest rates over 6%, we're seeing a lot of the builders offering a below 5% incentive. And so you need to make sure that you're understanding what comes with that incentive, as far as any kind of red tape or the fine line. What do they call it at the bottom? I can't think of
your small print.
Small print.
Yeah, a lot of times when it's rate driven incentive, there are different parameters as a buyer that you have to meet in order to be able to get that rate.
Yeah.
So
what I know that as we sat out here today with K-Hub and we looked around at all the other signs, some of the other ones that they are offering is what's called Hometown for Heroes. And that could be if you're a firefighter, a police officer. Some of them are even honoring plant workers, and then also teachers. They'll give a small incentive for that.
Yes. And I mean, the great thing is that they also, sometimes you can find these incentives within our lenders as well. So that's something to kind of keep in mind. But that is what, when you're going into a new build, that is what you're going to get to kind of walk into, which is nice. So you just need to weigh out the options. Is it going to cost you in the future? Is that incentive going to cost you when you go to resell?
Yes.
Something to think about, right? Because they're giving you stuff, and is it going to, if it's appliance upgrade, is that going to help if you go down the road to resell?
Right. The same with, in any upgrades, definitely.
Yes.
And one of the other things that you need to know is that if you go with an incentive from a builder, you're going to have to use their preferred title company and their preferred lender. So sometimes it does do you well to shop around to make sure that you're getting all the best rates and the best options for you as a buyer on whether or not that lender is offering you the best opportunity.
And typically they're going to be aggressive, which is a good thing. As a buyer, it's a good thing if they're aggressive. So they obviously are going to, in the long run, they make more if they're able to secure the whole transaction from beginning to end.
Yeah. So watch our series on building a home or buying in a new community, and we look forward to helping you. So if you have any questions about builder incentives, please give us a call and we will walk you through the process.